Hey, it's Augie Anderson, your Brevard, Florida realtor with Beth Dotson from HomeZada. We are on episode 3.
I know, isn't it exciting?
Doing a professional series for a variety of professionals. Beth's going to explain more of that because this is her thing. But so Beth, before we get in to the depth, because today is exciting. This is new and innovative ways for you to stay connected with your customers for professionals, whether you're a realtor, an insurance agency, agent, lender. Beth's going to go over that. But Beth, let's do like a little recap about HomeZada and the types of professionals that might be interested in utilizing this with their customers.
Yeah, sure. So thanks for having me, Augie. So HomeZada is what we refer to as digital home management. And what that means is you can track all the details about your home in one central, safe, secure system online. And that involves taking a home inventory, managing your maintenance tasks, managing your projects, and then also managing all your finances. And this is for people who have one home or multiple homes. And then as it relates to the professionals, we have what we refer to as HomeZada Professional. It allows professionals to give the gift of HomeZada with their branding in the system to their customers as a thank you, as just want to say, this is who I am, remind them of who you are. Any type of gift that will make an impression for people to help them manage their home in a useful way.
Nice. That's really good. And what types of professionals are we talking about here?
So there's a variety of professionals. So there are 3 industries that have a very similar concept of a transaction happening and how do I engage my customers beyond that transaction. And those industries involve real estate, mortgage, and insurance. So property insurance. But there are also other industries that use HomeZada, like home building. Home building would traditionally give a binder of information called a turnover package. They can now by using HomeZada, they can now give a digital turnover package to their customers that enable their customers to continue to manage their home after they've given them all the specs of the home, which is also really important. The other set of industries are estate planners and attorneys, home inventory professionals or professional organizers who perform home inventories. I told you about estate planners, financial planners, property managers, real estate investors. I'm trying to think, there's like so many industries. Maintenance contractors, remodeling contractors, and they would use it for a variety of different ways. So in addition to giving the gift of HomeZada by using HomeZada Pro, some of these industries can actually enter in data about the property and then transfer it to the customer. An inventory professional would enter in the inventory on the customer's behalf. A maintenance professional, remodeling contractor may enter in the data and then transfer it. Home builder, the same way. But some people literally want to make the recommendation by using HomeZada Professional and say, here, use this because we want to understand what's really going on in your house. And by doing that, we can actually better advise you. So for instance, a financial organizer, they often manage our money on stocks or bonds or something else, but oftentimes they don't know how to make the best investment decisions or suggestions to us because they're not taking into consideration, excuse me, the other assets that we have or investments that we have. And property still is an investment.
Oh, yeah. Okay, tell me some of the stories about the customers and their use of HomeZada from the context of their use, but how it perhaps relates to the professionals.
Yeah, so may I share a screen?
I would love for you to show us.
I
love visual aids.
I know you do. So I'm going to share some screens. And so I apologize. I'm going to get to this screen. This is a little bit more about HomeZada and its details. But let me skip through this. This is just about HomeZada, so I'll just skip through this. Gives you kind of an idea and get to some of the meat. So first of all, it's important to understand the type of homeowners that HomeZada has and also what they're tracking. So first of all, HomeZada homeowners are all generations. They have multiple homes, they have single homes, they have older homes, newer homes, they have waterfront homes, mountain homes, standard suburban homes, they have condos. It's really important to understand that. It's also important to understand that HomeZada's customers also use all different devices, and specifically tablets, laptops and phones are evenly distributed at 45% of the users. And then the other 10% is tablets. So most people think, oh, this is just an app. Oh, this is just a desktop. That is incorrect. Many of our users either use one or the other, or they actually go across the board with different technology, meaning they'll have a tablet maybe in their living room, a desktop in their office, a mobile phone to take photographs. It just varies. So it's important to understand that the users of HomeZada are across the board, Main Street America homeowners. It's just is what it is. So with that said, they are actually tracking a lot of information. So some of the information they're tracking in HomeZada is on average 200 photos. We have homeowners that track 50 because all they want to track is their sports memorabilia. Some customers just love their sports memorabilia. But then we also have customers who have over 5,000 photos.
Wow.
And they just track a lot of details. They track a lot of angles of their rooms. They track front and back of property of items. For instance, if they've got electronics, they'll often track serial numbers. So they'll take a really close-up picture. Some people will take photographs of their documentation as well. For instance, a receipt or a certificate of authenticity. They can scan those into HomeZada, but it's also oftentimes fairly easily to take a photograph. They also are using the calendar to track all their maintenance tasks. And this is really important for all industries and professionals and their customers actually tracking this. On average, the average homeowner tracks about 50 maintenance tasks in HomeZada. Many of them will add more according to their schedules and according to the type of home they have, but there are about 50 recurring maintenance tasks that happen on a regular basis, whether it's quarterly, monthly, annually, biannually, etc. And the reason why this is also important is think of this way. Technically, until you pay off your mortgage, you technically do not own your home. So it behooves the mortgage company to make sure you're taking care of the property that you jointly share with them until you've paid off that loan. Just saying. Even preserving the property, and we've talked about this on our previous episodes, not only of this section of the Pro series, but also the consumer series. When you can actually do whatever you can to maintain your property and preserve it, then you can actually sell your house faster sometimes, and maybe even for more money.
Oh yeah, for sure. For all that's very true, because the money situations come up after an inspection and now you're doing concessions.
Correct.
Now you're doing concessions, and that's where money gets lost on the table a lot. So the more you're maintaining your property value and have less inspection issues, the better it is from that perspective.
So it's perfect. So that's a really good connection with a lot of the industries we've just talked about and helping homeowners maintain this property value, and also giving them being the homeowners from the pros, the opportunity to understand how to manage that detail. Because a lot of people are using Excel or they're cobbling things together, and that is risky, because then you forget when you've last done something and when you're going to do it next, or you just don't know. And so this is a good way for professionals to really stay connected to their homeowners, to make sure that they're taking care of that property in a really easy but valuable way.
So one thing I want to mention here, because somebody asked me about this, is you don't have to go in and set anything up. People need to understand that you don't set up any dates or have to organize any of that. HomeZada does all that for you. You can reschedule it.
Yes.
And that's simple to do, but you're not, some people think, oh, I'm going to go in and I'm going to have to, no, I'm being very clear about this. I think this is very important to know that HomeZada does all that for you, which leads me into my next question. What have you experienced from the partners and them utilizing this for their clients?
Yeah, that's great. So let me show you something else here. Some customers, but here's some of the value that our partners see. The first one is many partners either are an existing trusted advisor or they are trying to be that or to enhance that. Exactly. So by providing an innovative tool like HomeZada and one that is value-based for the homeowner, it increases that value of being a trusted advisor. The other thing that we want to make sure we're doing is improving the brand for that particular partner, because that's important. Staying connected to your homeowner beyond that transaction and throughout their homeownership life cycle is extremely valuable. But how are you going to do it without sending things in the mail, like pieces of paper? You know, I've sold this house or I did this. Do people really care about that? Maybe, maybe not. But if you help them help themselves, that's really valuable. The other thing is, if you are helping them as a professional, them being the homeowner, to manage their house, then all of a sudden you've got some increased customer loyalty. And then you could potentially get more business because they'll remember who you are, but also you get more referrals. And many of our partners actually tell us that that does happen. They're like, yeah, we get tons of more referrals because they know who we are now. Or one of the things that they do, and so I'm going to skip a minute, but some of our partners have multiple product lines or multiple types of services. And so because they are able to have their branding inside HomeZada Professional, they actually can cross-sell or upsell additional products or services. They can also connect to, in this cross-sell and upsell, connect their customers, professionals can connect their customers to their other network of professionals. Because within HomeZada, there's a contact sheets or contact forms, and you can fill them out with your preferred vendors as the partner, and then the customer has that at their fingertips. So that streamlines the process of staying connected to your customer, but it also gives your partners that you've built relationships with another touch point with net new customers. And that's just a win-win. So think about it, maybe somebody needs a roofer and then it's in HomeZada already, then the customer has that. That's also a very competitive advantage because HomeZada is a unique tool and it's just now taking off. So to be really competitive, giving HomeZada as a gift can actually change the way people view your organization. I know if my professionals would have given me HomeZada, I would have been over the moon because they gave me things like a magnet or, oh, I get this all the time from one of my insurance companies. They literally send me a PDF that I have to fill out for home inventory. I'm like, I'm in Northern California, where like the tech capital of the world. I'm like, are you kidding me? Like, this is like just an insult to me personally. I mean, granted, this also showed they don't know me because I have this company, but it's just an insult going, okay, you need to get ahead of the game and you need to be more current in what is out there. And then for many partners, HomeZada can help them reduce costs. And part of that is because buying a gift and automatically getting your branding in the system means you may be able to have smarter advertising dollars spent.
That's right.
Means you may, and it also is a good retention solution because it's cheaper to retain customers than it is to acquire customers. Everyone in business and marketing already knows that. But HomeZada, because it's got the branding and the contact details of the individual partner, then that could actually be very effective. And many of our partners actually experience this. So think of some organizations or industries. In mortgage, which most people may not know, the retention rate is 30%. That's low. the retention rate at HomeZada is already up at 75 and it's climbing to 78%. And we're
Wow.
going to continue to grow that. People want to manage their home and they want to do it in a really effective, smart way. And if partners can also gain from that, that's huge.
So you know what? I think this is a good point because you just talked about all these things. Why don't we show the pros, go back into your screen,
Yep.
the branding that comes with, so you, like, for instance, if I gift HomeZada every time they get an email from, and it came from me, they see my name, they see my photo, and I have top of mind awareness just by giving them as a gift this system. So let's go over that a little bit, Beth.
Absolutely. So as we indicated, there's branding in the system. This is an example of the branding in the system. Now, this has a company logo. It's very generic. It has a website that can be directly connected to from inside the branding. It also has a phone number. So if you've got a front desk phone number or mobile phone or whatever you want to use as the form of contact, put that there. Social media icons, and then also an email if you want people to contact you via email. And then if you have a photo you want to add, you can also add that. Some industries do, some industries do not. And then you can see we do our best to make sure it's front and center in terms of the user experience, but we also want to make sure that the customer actually has a very good user experience. And so when we go into a mobile phone, we consolidate it. So this drop down will give them the details. So we really take this into consideration that it benefits the partners and also the homeowner users of HomeZada. Additionally, we talk about the email branding. So you brought this up. So once a month, and I'm going to go to the right-hand side of your screen here, this email, which technically is one long email, goes out to every customer. It gives them the knowledge of what's going on in their system. And some people may use all features of HomeZada, some people may not, but it still gives them visibility into what's going on. And because of that, our partners are always mentioned in this email. It's important. All of these links are also interactive. And so the customer can reach right back out to the partner for any referrals, for any information, maybe to sell or buy a new home, just to work with them even more. Additionally, there are maintenance or time-oriented emails that need to come out. And as you can see here, these maintenance tasks are upcoming tasks that the homeowner needs to get a hold of. And so we want to remind them of those tasks. They can always go into the system if they need to make change. So maybe they're traveling one particular weekend, what have you. But at the same time, the contact information and the information about the partner is always in that email as well. And so these emails go out anywhere between 2 and 4 times a month, which is great connection with your customers without overwhelming them.
Right.
And by the way, this is the magic number of emails because we tested this. And if you send too many,
it's overkill.
Yep.
Yeah. So professionals that have tried, they've had their tried and true methods. How can HomeZada make a difference with these methods?
So I think tried and true methods can still play a role. And tried and true methods of staying connected to them with reminders, whether you send out a flyer once in a blue moon, whether you remind them of who you are with a phone call or an email, a generic email or newsletter that you may have. I think all of that is still important for your customers to know who you are and to remind them of your branding. That's the repetitiveness and the consistency. And let's face it, it takes about it used to be 7 to 10. I think it's upwards now of 14 to 21 touches for someone to remember who you are. So HomeZada adds to those touches, and we do it in a smart, intelligent way. And I'm a firm believer in that. I've been in tech for a very long time and I appreciate tech, but I also believe that if tech is not managed properly, it can become very much a distraction rather than a value system. And HomeZada is here to and designed to become valuable for our customers and to not overwhelm them, because we want them to still love their homes, but also care for them and not hate those chores that we have to
Right.
do, but understand that when you do those chores, it actually has a downstream long-term valuable effect to not only your property, but your overall investment portfolio.
That makes sense. So what I think in some of that from my perspective is, and I've mentioned this in some other ones, but I'm going to reiterate it in case
Sure.
people didn't hear me in another one, is I think it's a nice conversation to have that's outside. I feel like when everything is real estate and it's the same thing over and over again, it goes to deaf ears.
Mhm.
But if you have this as a tool, they're seeing your name in the emails.
Yes.
It's subtle. It's not smack you in the face, but you can't help but see it. Every time you bring it up, I notice that logo. You just can't kind of help but see
Mhm.
that you were there as a reminder. This is how you got the system,
Exactly.
you know? And then I just think like, take advantage of bad situations when it's hurricane season
Yeah.
and it's the start of hurricane season here in Florida. Reach out to them and say, have you had a chance to inventory your home?
Yes.
Now's the time, because we never know what the hurricane season will bring us, because we do never know.
No.
It's a very mild one this last time, but it can be a barrage of them. We've had them in the past where boom, 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 boom.
Yep.
And it's really inventory your home. You can take advantage of those situations, and just like everyday stuff too. Like, and there's different parts of the country.
Yeah.
You know, I'm speaking to Florida, but HomeZada is in all
Everywhere.
50 states, right?
All 50 states.
Can you
People
help
in
me
20.
with my igloo in Alaska?
Yes, we have Alaska customers. Yeah.
So they're in all 50 states, and
Mhm.
every state has, I'm sure, some kind of unique thing. Maybe it's
Yeah.
not as boring, but if you have something that's catastrophic, like these people, so sad, but those tornadoes, I hope their homes were in. You know what? I've been now connected with you for a
Mhm.
while. My thought when I saw that devastation, God, I hope their home was inventory.
Yeah.
That's exactly what I
That's
think.
me too in today's day and age. Like, me too.
You know, it's like, oh,
Mhm.
I hope so, because let's kind of touch upon this one
Mhm.
aspect of it too. It's going to a certain industry, but HomeZada really interfaces with insurance, correct? Can
Yes.
you just kind of
Yeah.
go over that a little bit for me, a little bit to remind me how? And then, of course, our viewers, these pros are going to want to know that too.
Yeah. So it's really important. So the insurance industry, in order for them to properly give you the proper coverage you need, they truly do need to know what you own. If you have certain valuables, if you have updated your property, they may be still living off of an old original estimate and they're just giving you a renewal. And so keeping them up to loop and up to date on what you own and what the condition of your property's in will help you get the best and most accurate coverage of to make sure that you have replacement. And let's face it, for everyone out there as well, lumber and everything else has gone up. So replacement costs might be slightly going up, and everyone wants to throw a fit. Like, I don't feel like paying that much insurance, but everybody wants it when they need it. And that's what the principle of insurance is. The other thing that we do because of insurance, we have the ability in HomeZada, you can print a PDF of your inventory, or you can print an Excel spreadsheet once you've finished it and give that to your insurance company. And they will get you the proper coverage. And we encourage that. Furthermore, and this just happened in my own coverage. So I got my new policy, I got all my data. Yep, it's going up because replacement costs are going up. And I get it. Lumber has gone up. So if my house were to be replaced, it would cost more to rebuild it.
Right.
But more importantly, and the insurance company also finally stated this in the form, which many people don't read, they specifically asked, if you have done a remodel, please tell us. You may not be covered because you may have all these new finishes and all these new fixtures, but we priced your home on something that you valued 3 years ago. So it's important that you also provide them information on any updates to your home, whether it's a full-on remodel, whether it's changing out minor things, really doesn't matter to them. But if something is significant, like a brand new kitchen, like a brand new bathroom, brand new spaces, new decks, new pools, this is important to make sure that they understand that this exists. And then furthermore, insurance companies do also appreciate the fact that homeowners are performing maintenance, because let's face it, they can actually start lowering costs of our insurance if we do our job by taking care of our homes.
Right.
But if we're not going to do our jobs taking care of our homes, well, then they've got to cover their business as well. Now, I'm not here to support the insurance companies. I'm not here to support us as homeowners. It's a symbiotic relationship that we both have to understand.
That's right.
In order to work together. But there's a ton of benefits on both ends, the homeowner side, but also the insurance company side, on the value that they get. And for instance, that slide we showed with all the different values, insurance companies can probably gain a lot of value and then some, because they can have reduced costs on claims that may happen because people are taking care of their home. They have coverage that is accurate, so they have a better relationship with their customers, so better brand awareness and as a trusted advisor. And then they also can get repeat business. And part of that repeat business may be that they sell additional coverage or policies that tie to valuables. So it's really important that people also understand what they own and submit that to their insurance company, because some of the things that they may not think are super valuable may not be covered. And one of those examples is, at least in my coverage, Oriental rugs, not covered. They have to get a special rider. And the other thing was silver. So I had silver passed down from generation. That is real. It's not stainless steel, it's real silver.
Silver, yeah.
Not covered. You need that above and beyond. And that goes to similar with jewelry and artwork. So it's important that people understand, sitting down with your insurance company, it's not such a big deal. We're doing everything over Zoom.
And yeah, don't go on the cheap. You're not helping yourself thinking, I want to pay the lowest. You want to pay the coverage that
you're going
is
to
going to
get.
help you if you do have something catastrophic, and then you go, you can't pay. It's going to cost you more in the long run.
Without a doubt.
You know, so don't go on. I mean, I've learned a lot from this perspective. And something I want to share as a pro, I have HomeZada on my personal residence, and we have it on our investment property. You know, I just think if you're going to help people understand different aspects of managing their home, you having this and be able to talk about it as a user to user, if you will, is very, very helpful. You know, it's very inexpensive. I'm going to put a link below for the professionals. Please go check it out. And I'm also, in case you just happen to be a consumer watching, or you want to give it to a consumer, I'm going to put the consumer link as well. And Beth, I think one of the coolest things of all is there any cost to get started with HomeZada?
No, not HomeZada or HomeZada Pro. HomeZada Pro, you sign up and then you buy your properties as you need them. When it comes to a consumer, you can use free inventory if you want. I mean, that's kind of our give back.
Right. So you can inventory your home and there's no cost for you to do this. You get acquainted with the system. This is a no-brainer. Hello, this is a no-brainer. So
I'm going to give you another tip. I'm going to interrupt you one quick.
Go ahead.
Augie. Here's the additional no-brainer. HomeZada is safe and secure. We do have a security page if you ever want to question that on our website. But more importantly, your data is yours. You choose to do what with it. If you want to share it with your insurance company, share it with other family members, That is yours to do as a homeowner. And
But
that
it's
is
private unless you want to.
private. That's
Very
correct.
private. A lot of people have asked me about that, and it really is safe, secure. A lot of people worry about
Yeah.
digital because of hackers and everything. So
Right.
they've gone through great extremes to make sure it remains private. So
That's correct.
that's it for me. I want to know, what do we get to look forward to next week there, Beth Dotson?
Oh my goodness. Thank you so much, Augie. I have to look at my notes real quick because I forgot what we're talking to, but I know we're still continuing with the pros. And we are going to talk a little bit more about branding, but we're also going to talk about the differences between co-branding and white label and the impact on why we do that, because a lot of pros ask for white label, but they don't understand the impact to the homeowner. And so we're going to talk about that a little bit more. So we're going to dive in deeper with this branding. Maybe I can show people how it actually works. That could be fun.
Oh, that could be really
Yeah.
fun. I think that's a winner chicken dinner idea there, friend.
Yes.
So I hope you see the value of, this is episode 3. We have 3 more to go. And I hope you can see the value. If you're a professional, this is such a fabulous way for you beyond the branding part. I mean, that's like bonus. But the connection with your client and to stay connected with them, I think that has more value than anything. My whole thing started last year. That's how I got to meet Beth, is preserving property value from the day you close on your property. Maintain your value. You're going to upgrade. Be smart about your financial perspective of your projects. People go over budget all the time and it freaks them out. But if you have a tracking system, you're able to stay more aligned.
Yeah.
And know your finances. Know your finances about your house. It's so important. So I think I've covered everything with this, Beth. This was a great session. I think pros are going to get a lot of value from what we're sharing, because HomeZada and the concept of HomeZada is still fairly unique. I'm doing this to bond with other professionals, because the more of us that are out there promoting this concept, the more people will trust it, embrace it, and use it.
That's correct.
Right?
Yeah.
So I'm signing off. Augie Anderson, your Brevard, Florida realtor, with Beth Dotson, CEO and founder of HomeZada. Tune in again. We look for us next week, because we will be here sharing another fabulous episode 4. See ya.